Hi everybody, I hope you're well. Thanks for joining me this evening. I've got a really good razor to use tonight. I'm going to be using the Mergress XL. I used it on Monday and it really is something else indeed. Now I'm also going to be using as a pre-shave my executive shaving lime patchouli pre-shave oil, which I'll just quickly rub in before we start. If you've watched one of my other videos, you'll know that I absolutely love this product. It is fantastic. Now I'm going to be using my Truefitt and Hill Traveller shaving brush, which I've had soaking. There we are, the Traveller. I'm not going to say too much about this because I want to do a Truefitt and Hill video next week, but this is a brush and a half. I'm really enjoying using this brush. And a gentleman called Kyriakos got in touch asking me if I would use a shave stick, and I'm certainly going to do that tonight. Now there are a number of ways you can use a shave stick. This is my Arco stick, and it is just squashed into a bowl and you can lather up in your normal way, but I've got the Boots shaving stick tonight, and I really think these travel containers that they come in are fantastic. I don't think you can go wrong with these for travelling. So I've prepared my face, I've got the pre-shave on, I've just wet the end of this and I'm going to rub it into my bristles. Making sure that I get good coverage all over. I haven't used a shaving stick like this for a little while, and I've not used one with my new brush, so it'll be interesting to see how we go tonight. This Boots shaving stick is it's quite a nice smell for a very, very inexpensive product. It's quite an unusual scent. I can't tell you what it is. Let me just have a look on the packet, because yes, I thought so. It just says fragrance, but it doesn't say what it's meant to smell of. But it is quite pleasant, I must say. And for a price you pay if you were travelling, it is fantastic. Now, there we go. I want to make sure my brush is quite dry. I've shaken the water out of it. So my brush is just nicely damp now, but it's not actually wet. And I'm just going to start really spreading this soap over my face. To get good even coverage. Now, I can feel that that's getting a little bit dry, so I'm going to add a drop of water to the tips of my brush and start to work that in, and I'll just continue doing that. Until the brush loosens up a little bit. It's held together now by all that soap. So as I add more and more water, it will just loosen a little bit more and a little bit more. and then I'll be able to start really, there we are, we're just about there, it's going. Going to go with a drop more water. And again. I might just add a drop more again, and then I think we're there. There we are, that's good. And that is how I use my shave stick. I suppose the other way, you could take a piece off the end, just a very small piece off the end, and pop that in the bottom of your bowl and lather from that, or load your brush from that rather. So I clean my ears, nose and lips, and we are about ready to go. As I said, I used this razor on Monday, and I'm going to set it to number 3. It is an adjustable razor. It is a re-engineered Merkur Progress. Interestingly, you can see on the head cap up here and the base plate, there's a triangle and a little line, and they have to be aligned. If you put the head cap on the other way around, it throws out the numbers on the adjustment dial. But this is a very smooth razor. The blue dot lines up, I wonder if you can see, on the plus sign. And there are 5 points on the razor, but they're split into halves. And because it is a continuous adjustment, you could go, you know, a half, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, you know, as you wish. But I'm going to start on number 3. And just to say, I've had a little conversation this week with Akeem, my friend in Singapore, and we discussed how similar it is in appearance to the Future. Now, this isn't a Future, this is my Mingxi, but it is a Future copy. So you can see that there is a similarity to the heads, even though they work in a different way. I have to say, I think it is more comfortable than the Mingxi, and Akeem seems to think that it's a more comfortable shave than the Future, so a little bit of interest there. Now this is the XL, and it has this very long stainless steel adjustment knob that's been added to the razor. They are made by a gentleman called Eric Meyer, I believe it is pronounced. And they are only made in very small batches and sold exclusively. And I'll put the link in the comments section so you can go and have a look at them. There are 5 different types. And you can hear, can't you, and that's just taking my stubble right off. I do quite like these Nassettes. Now, I've not used a Progress, so I can't compare this to a Progress, but I have read that there were some issues with the Progress, with the numbers on the adjustment knob not quite lining it up. Certainly don't have any problems on this razor. And also that this is smoother when you turn the adjustment knob. Now this one comes in at, I've written it down, 122 grams. And I would have thought, while I'm holding it, before I shaved with it, that the weight being on the bottom, being mostly in this adjustment knob, would make it an oddly balanced razor. The balance point is about halfway. I'm actually finding with my hands from the pre-shave oil, and they're slightly wet, I'm having difficulty holding it. I didn't use a pre-shave oil on Monday, and I didn't have that problem then, so I guess that goes to prove that the pre-shave oil that I'm using really does provide slick. I haven't got any on this hand for some reason. I'm having no trouble here. That's a bit odd, isn't it? I think I was saying there are 5 different styles available, so you can have a look at those. Now from the feel of it, it feels like there's a big gap between the guard and the blade. So for me, a number 3, I wouldn't like to go any more than that. But you can go, that's the wrong way, you can go all the way to number 5. And you can even go past number 5 and go round the clock again to number 5 again if you were a lunatic or desperate. And it's at this point that the razor unclips and the head cap comes off. So I'll just screw that back on. It's 106mm in total length, but the handle is 95mm, so it really is all in the handle in this razor. Now I can feel, right, I'm not in discomfort or anything, but I can feel that I wouldn't want to go any higher than a 3 for me. Do you know, just before I came in to shave, we've had a green woodpecker in the garden. Now they are very shy birds indeed, and you don't see very many of them in the UK. A fantastic looking bird. I haven't seen one for a long time. No, I'm not a, what do they call it, a twitcher, a bird watcher. I'm not a bird watcher, but yeah, this was something special to see just in the back garden. Fantastic. Now there we are. Ready for the second pass. And I'm going to wind this down as I did the other day to 2.5. He says, I'm finding this a bit difficult to hold. Oh, there we go, I'm looking at the wrong side of the razor like a fool. I'm not looking at where the blue dot is, I'm looking at the other side here and wondering why it won't move. Let's turn that around to 2.5. I don't believe I did that. Now I find this to be very comfortable. 2.5 is just right on this razor for me, and I guess that's the really good thing about an adjustable razor, is that you can just get it set to how you like it. Now you can hear it's just taking the hair right off, but there's no discomfort on this setting at all. And it is a very close shave, let me tell you. I would say that I'm getting a bit clogged up with soap. Along here and in these channels underneath the razor blade there. Now, you've heard me run the tap there. It's because it wasn't clearing just by shaking the razor in the water that's in the sink. So it seems rather strange that that should happen, because that gap does look very big. And there we are, that is my shave for the evening. Now I'm just going to run a little bit of cold water into my palms and just wipe myself off a little bit. Apparently the Mergress has been around since 2006, when Mr. Meyer first had the idea of making changes to it. It's become quite a popular razor, or it's become a razor that's in demand. Let's put it that way. Of course, the biggest problem for me and for some of others with the Progress, and this is the reason why I haven't got one, is that there is a plastic adjustment knob on the bottom, and personally I think it looks terrible. But it is an old design that. You can find vintage razors with that very same plastic knob on the bottom, so perhaps when they first did that they were being, it was quite innovative. But personally, I don't like it. A lot of people just don't let that bother them. Now, I'm going to use my Lucky Tiger tonight. I haven't used this for a little while, and I do enjoy this. So I have a good squirt of that into my hand. In fact, I would say that I squirted too much of that into my hands. Let me just wipe a little bit of that off. That's better. Now, I have had an incredibly good shave. It's incredibly smooth, my face, and my neck. I'm almost BBS. It's just like a little bit there, just under there, and a little bit there, nothing. But in half an hour, when my skin has calmed down and the hairs have contracted again, they will be gone, and it won't be an issue. So that is my shave with the Mergress. It's another one of those razors that I never thought that I would shave with, so I'm very grateful to be able to. You can see now it's just slipping out of my hand. I don't like that about it, but it is a fantastic shave. But I caught myself there. I think I have. Now I'm going to put a bit of alum on that. And just hold that on there for a bit. Now that was sneaky, wasn't it? It's funny how you catch yourself, isn't it, like that, for no sort of reason. There we are. Anyway, I won't keep you here while I muck about with my alum block. You take care of yourselves. Please subscribe if you haven't. But most of all, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you have a good week. All the very best to you. Take care now, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.